I want you to take a look at a couple of pictures of an Iraq war vet, and bear with me, there's a good reason I want to introduce you to him. He's an American hero. His name is Brendan Marrocco. Get a good up close and personal look at him. He's just like a lot of other 26-year-olds. He loves cars and he's sarcastic and he digs Twitter big time. In fact, he posts a lot of these pictures on Twitter himself. There he is. He tweeted out, "I'm bored at work." But I'll tell you something, he may have been bored when he took that shot. It's hard to believe he is alive at this point, though, because he lost all 4 of his limbs back in 2009 after a roadside bomb went off. One of his friends was killed, another one injured. In another war and another time, this man would be dead. He probably would have died on the battlefield. And he's holding a news conference right now to show something off, something amazing. 2 brand new arms. He is the successful recipient of a double arm transplant. And he couldn't be happier. He's smiling at the press conference. He's tweeting out the fact that their limbs are starting to move somewhat. It seems unbelievable. If it seems such, it just may be. Elizabeth Cohen joins me live now to answer to this miracle. You know, I thought this might be a first-time thing, but it's happened a few times before, double-arm transplants. How do they do it? It just seems so intricate.
They have to reconnect everything. I mean, you can imagine this is surgery done at times with a microscope. You're reconnecting every tendon, every muscle, every nerve. And the most important thing is you're connecting blood vessels, Ashley, because if that limb doesn't get blood, that limb will die. And I was just on the phone with a surgeon who's done these before, and he said that is the part that really makes you sweat, is when you have to put that circulatory system back together. So Brendan Marrocco is the 7th person in this country to have what's called a bilateral arm transplant, getting both arms transplanted. And the surgeon told me the biggest predictor of success is at what point along the arm the transplant is done. The closer to the wrist, the better. In other words, to put it in simple terms, the more of the arm you have to transplant, the more difficult the task is. And Brendan's actually, it's really amazing. I mean, one of his arms, I got to look at my notes here from what he said. So his left arm, it was below the elbow, and the right arm, it was the entire arm. So, I mean, that's pretty, the right arm was it was above the elbow for the left arm, above the elbow for the left arm, and the entire arm for the right arm. So that's pretty amazing. I mean, these are very extensive surgeries. And, you know, we heard from him at this press conference, so let's take a listen.
Well, pretty much now I can move my elbow. This was my elbow, the one I had before. I can rotate a little bit. This arm is pretty much not much movement at all. Not yet, at least. Hopefully, we're hopeful for the future to get some pretty good function out of it, out of both of them.
So again, Ashley, he can rotate one elbow and can't do very much with the other arm. Ashley?
I was just looking at a 13-hour operation in which you were alluding to this. They had to connect bones, they had to connect blood vessels, muscles, tendons, nerves, and skin on both of those limbs. And he mentioned that he could feel some movement, but couldn't yet move those fingers. What do the doctors say the chances are that those will be functioning arms?
You know, they probably won't be fully functional, let's say, in the way that you or I function. The surgeon I was talking to who's done these before, he says that he has patients who can do everything that you or I could do, but not as fast. So it's not going to be necessarily like it was for him before the surgery. But when you think about what the alternative is, which is a prosthetic, any kind of movement, any kind of function is definitely an improvement over that.
Well, you know something? Brendan also recognizes he's lucky to be alive because there was someone in his vehicle that didn't survive. So it's a great story. We're very proud of him. Elizabeth, thank you.
Thanks.
Elizabeth Cohen reporting for us. And also, keep us updated, Elizabeth. Amazing story.